The story of Firehose reads like a Hollywood movie script or rock and roll fairy tale. Fiery crash kills visionary Minutemen frontman. His long friend and bandmate gives up music and falls into deep depression. From the American Midwest appears an inexperienced fan of the dead idol, and despite the odds, gets an audition and forms a hugely popular band with the remaining members. And it's a true story. Firehose have just released their 5th studio album, Mr. Machinery Operator. They're 2nd for Columbia, having left the safe compounds of SST, the Minutemen's longtime label. Firehose have developed a far more mersh, that's a word that in San Pedro means commercial, sound than the Minutemen ever had, attributable to their Ohio singer-guitarist Ed Crawford's love of top 40 radio. Throughout the Firehose albums, there's no harping on the past, no nostalgic backward glancing, no possibility of being pegged as Minutemen 2, though there are similarities. Underscoring Mike Watt's considerable contributions to both units, Firehose, if anything, is a more democratic band, less dominated by any single member, as was the case with D. Boone, while managing to retain the unpredictability and creativity of the Minutemen. The story of Firehose's creation has been a source of confusion and mystery for Minutemen fans ever since bassist Mike Watt paired up with Ed Crawford 8 years ago. When the guitarist and vocalist for the Minutemen, D. Boone, was killed in a crash on a stretch of Arizona highway in December of 1985, his partner and friend Mike Watt was inconsolable. The two had been best friends since grade school and had learned to play their instruments together, listening to Blue Oyster Cult, T-Rex, and Creedence records. Watt couldn't even bring himself to attend Dee's funeral. He says, "I stayed in my house a lot, drank beers, it was real bad. I felt robbed. Me and Dee Boone never talked about this happening. We always thought in a way like we're going to be together. He was taken from me, and I have no respect for death."
There are doubts regarding your ability to lead them. The men lead them. There are doubts in your ability. There's too many blind. Lieutenant, there is talk pertaining interpretation of problems. Describe them. Problems. There are doubts in your ability. There's too many blinds in your analogy. The enemy turns captain. The captain turns civilian. The lieutenant becomes casualty. The lieutenant becomes casualty. The enemy turns captain. The captain turns civilian. The lieutenant becomes casualty. The lieutenant becomes casualty. There are doubts in your ability. There's too many blinds in your analogy. There's too many doubts in your ability.
Firehose and a track called Brave Captain from a 1986 full-length LP called Ragin' Full On. After 6 months had passed, it was apparent that Watt was unable or unwilling to shake off his depression. His friends did everything they could to get him to pick up his bass again. Ex-Black Flag bassist Kira was the first to get Watt back on the rails. She and Watt put together a bass duo project called DOS, which produced one album on SST. Even New York Sonic Youth were in there trying to motivate Mike. They tried to convince him to keep the Minutemen going with promises of a supporting role in the upcoming Sonic Youth tour. And they also asked him to join them for their alter ego spin-off Madonna project, Ciccone Youth, as an arranger and player. Still, Watt's morale remained low. D. Boon was not someone that could easily be replaced. He was a street ambassador, a populist who addressed his topics, particularly America's military involvement in Latin America, with point-blank directness. Said Watt, "People'd ask me, who's going to write the D. Boon lyrics now? Even though I shared a lot of those beliefs with him, I still do all the way. I just can't write like him or pretend to. Some kids say, well, why not? Like, that's all it is. You know, I don't know if I could have believed them." Even with his friends urging him on, Watt remained reluctant to return to performing. Then, out of the spud nowhere, came Ed Crawford. Crawford was a 22-year-old college dropout from Columbus, Ohio, a self-avowed jazz snob whose life had been changed by a Minutemen REM concert he'd attended in mid-1985. "The Minutemen blew me away," recalls Ed. When D. Boon was killed 18 months later, Crawford began besieging a grieving Mike Watt with a flood of phone calls, eventually showing up in person on Watt's very doorstep. He had learned, erroneously as it turned out, that Watt had begun to hold auditions for a new guitarist. He was utterly convinced that he had the skill and energy to make Hurley, and especially Mike Watt, believers once more.
I'm the pain on the road, the way you're low, with the cracked black crown. Fuck it! And it's in your brain, the chase you can rain. I'm the flame from the train, the pin fell the rail. Blood from the fire, a hot tub cool mire. Ticket to flyer, no? Blaze chemical wire! Blaze the chemical wire! You burn a church full of fire! You fucking pay for desire! Fire turns to wire! Horses for hire. Turn a nice man a crier. Make your bed a big briar. Thorns of chemical wire. Be the tread on the tire. Sulfur in the deep fryer. Grinding on till you're tired. Then you'll break down the fire.
Firehose, and a track called Soon from the 1987 CD Iffin. And before that, something from 1986's Ragin' Full On, a track called Chemical Wire. Little Ed Crawford hopped a plane to California without even the faintest hope of getting an audition. It was his enthusiasm that got him through the front door, and after that, Mike Watt just couldn't get rid of him. During the day, he and Watt would jam, attempting to find some common ground. At night, Crawford would bunk down on Watt's living room floor, and, well, Mike was a bit skeptical at first. He found out that Ed had never played in a band, didn't write songs, had never sung or performed in public, and had only been playing electric guitar for 6 months. Well, and to top things off, he kept on catching Ed jamming to REM records. Watt said, Ed was influenced by bands like The Police and U2, stuff very foreign to me. He'd never played guitar until he saw D. Boone. He knew a lot of our tunes, like a hack would, note for note. But then I couldn't believe the nerve of this kid, you know, to come out here. And I thought, well, if this guy wants to go in front of people and learn in front of them, then I think it's worth doing. Because that's what music is anyway. It's real life, not a series of career moves. In spite of Crawford's inexperience, Watt decided to go with him. He looked up George Hurley, his old drummer cohort in the Minutemen, and started putting together some new material. It was a bit strange at first. D. Boone and Watt had a very intuitive way of writing and working together, a process which Watt missed a lot. He said, I had a partner where I worked on ideas and music for 16 years with, you know. Now it's just some kid from Ohio. He's embarrassed to talk about politics. He probably hasn't even voted in his life. He's just a kid. He's just learning. It was strange for Watt to be writing with Crawford for other reasons as well. He said, it was like the tail wagging the dog. Drummers and bass players aren't supposed to lead guitar players. But me and George are weird players. People want this guitar god, and Ed's got this promise to deliver. You can't fake it. But me and George, we're jammers, and people don't understand that. No one wants to hear bass solos.
Could be the cold, quiet morning, our sunny warmth, sometimes starry evening, to this feeling. Could be the cold, quiet morning, our sunny warmth, sometimes starry evenings, exude this feeling.
Firehose from 1989's From Ohio record, and a track called Understanding. Before that, from 1987's Iffen, a track called Sometimes. The band chose their name from a line in Bob Dylan's Subterranean Homesick Blues and played their debut gig at a local club in the summer of 1986. Later that year, they cut their first album for SST, Ragin' Full On. And the band took Sonic Youth up on their earlier offer and joined them for a major tour, which took them all over the States and then to England, where they were particularly well received. Crawford came through his baptism by fire unscathed. Watt needn't have worried. Crawford had fit nicely into the cross-referenced punk mix-up that Firehose had created for itself. On their second LP, Iffen, Watt had had more time to adapt to Crawford's style. He considers this to be the real first Firehose album. He says, on that first album with Ed, I used DOS songs. Some people think those are Firehose songs, but it's really the other way around. Those songs are from before D. Boon was killed. Iffen was different. This time, it's me and Edward, not so much DOS. Of course, Ed's been playing with us a year now. He's much more a part of it. It's scary, though, because the record isn't like a gig. I know how to work a gig. You just pull that string. But now, a record's going to be there forever. It's just scary. It's like Indians won't let themselves be photographed, you know. Then you'd have their soul. In a way, that's what a record is.
Try to remember what my feelings don't know for sure. I try to reach out, but it's gone. I'm walking a cow. I really don't know why I'm waiting here. I really don't know why I should even care. Whoa, oh, I am walking the cow. Well, try to point my finger on what the wind is, turn me around in circles, as circles, like a star in your eye. I'm walking a cow. I really don't know why I'm standing here. I really don't know why I should even care. Whoa, oh, I'm walking the cow. Like a star in your eye.
Firehose doing Daniel Johnson's Walkin' the Cow in their 1991 CD release Flying the Flannel. And before that, Firehose from 1989's From Ohio with a track called Time With You. In 1989, Firehose released their third album, From Ohio, so named after Ed Crawford's nickname, Ed from Ohio. It was produced in an Ohio studio for the super low discount price of $4,400. Watt is very careful when it comes to maintaining the band's autonomy, being very suspicious of industry blandishments. He says, "Technology helps. It makes an amp small enough that I don't have to hire a roadie. See, in the business, there are a lot of bills to pay. Well, we're self-sufficient enough that we can take the risks." The group grew ever more coherent during a lengthy stretch of touring that spanned 1989 and 1990. And in 1990, they released Flying the Flannel, their fourth release and a major label debut. The album continued in the musical spirit of the Minutemen. Included on it is a wonderfully silly ballad about a cow, the one written by Daniel Johnson, and a collaborative effort by Watt and artist Raymond Pettibon, the guy known for his album covers for Black Flag and Sonic Youth. Watt lyrics are occasionally as overtly political as D. Boone's lyrics were, as with the song Anti-Misogyny Maneuver, and Watt explains, "If you write political lyrics, it doesn't mean the dude is going to get it, or has to get it, or wants to get it, or has to get it, or wants to get it. I've always tried to use leverage, use that base as a fulcrum to leverage my views, to try and get them to think about what's up. But I'm not into breaking my back with the weight of the statement that will just roll off their backs.
All right, we're gonna do blow ice through call again. Now we're gonna do slack motherfucker. This is about working for an asshole.
You haven't moved from that spot all night, except to ask for a light. You damn smokestack, you're wasting my time. I'd like to see you try and give it back here. I'm working, I'm waiting for you. Slack motherfucker. Relax, settle down, I'll kick that stool right out from under you. You're headed to outside, well I could do the same thing too. I'm working, well I'm waiting for you.
Firehose. And 3 live tracks from a 1992 CD EP release called Live Totem Pole, Mannequin, What Gets Heard, and a cover of Superchunk's Slack Motherfucker. Flying the Flannel was followed closely by the release of the live CD EP, Live Totem Pole. Firehose's most recent album is Mr. Machine Operator, on which Jay Massis of Dinosaur Jr. takes the production credit and even strums a tune or two. Says Mike Watt, Jay made me sing 2 songs, Ed usually does, 'cause that's what he wanted, so I hope you don't think I'm trying to Bogart. I only do 1 bass solo on the record, and it's a tiny one, so maybe that'll square things. The album took twice as much time as the group usually takes to record, resulting in a much slicker package than previous efforts. So from the brand new Firehose record, Mr. Machine Operator, this is a track called Blaze.
I never see she devastates me. She's so frustrated, 'cause I know that's not the one. Simply rise above. She got a bullet in her gun. She gonna blaze like a setting sun. She's gonna blaze like a setting sun. I never face it. She's always faded. She never has to fake it. 'Cause I know that's not the one to simply ride.